So welcome everyone. I believe we are just now getting live. Let's get the people. Let's get to know the people that are in the room, and also a short introduction about what we are going to do. And as soon as basically the first question will pop up for you guys that are joining live, then I'll put the board on it, and please leave the comments in it, and I'll be able to add those comments in the virtual space. And hey, let's see if this works.
So here we are in special with everyone. Welcome, everyone. So I don't know how many are we at the moment? Let's start with that. One, I see Marion. Two, three, four, five. I would say that we might need to wait a little longer. It takes away those couple of minutes extra. But first of all, thanks everybody for joining. So that is great. And maybe since there was a little bit of chit chat going on, and that's great. Why don't we keep it going? So I believe that Daniele and Richard already briefly introduced. Maybe why don't we go to Marion? Can you tell us a bit about you while we wait the others, and then we're gonna start?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Paris right now, and I'm an for an immersive B2B showroom. Can you hear me?
Yeah. No. Not anymore. But we can go to Rich and wait for her to come back.
Rich, no, I'm scared now.
I'm gonna do.
I'm scared if I talk, I'm gonna disappear. You know. Sorry, Rich.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna do the thing that every comedy sketch has done so far since lockdown, which is say, "Can you all hear me?"
Yeah, that is.
My name's Rich. I'm from the UK. I work for Oracle. I'm an innovation director there, and I kind of sit generally in the sphere of emerging technology. I run a lot of workshops around conversational design, AI, and innovation, and I'm really looking forward to this session.
In the right place. Then, please.
My name is Sylvia. I'm a UX UI designer, and I'm started to specialize in emerging technology. I'm from Spain.
Good. Richard Ward. I'm with McKinsey, and I lead our global XR practice.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Daniele Sergati. I'm from Italy, and I'm currently working at Audi in Germany as a studio engineer in design. And so I start from the creative process from sketches until the car is completely done in exterior. And part of my job is also to find out ways we can integrate VR and XR technologies in our design process. And so we're trying to push this as far as we can, as much as we can. And on the side, we're also starting a new startup at the moment with a friend of mine, actually, based on AR technologies with smartphones. So I'm really interested in this kind of applications like spatial and so forth.
Of course, because there is never enough to do when you're having fun. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
So let's do one thing. I think we can just start it up because the first activity that I was planning before we get into the meat of the workshop was to have a little icebreaker. So first of all, raise your hands who has been more or less sitting the whole day.
In what?
Who has been sitting more or less the whole day? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 4. Oh, okay. Good to know that Richard and Daniele got a bit of movement today. What I would like to start doing is okay, but that I'm not sure that counts.
I mean, I get to 120 beat heart rate, so I think it's a big count, you know.
Okay, it does. You're right. Feels still a little bit cheating, but I agree. So Paul, hi, welcome. So what I was trying to do is basically let's have an icebreaker. So why don't we all kind of like stand up a little, and then what we can do is try a little exercise. So I am going to give, say, words. In this case, it's move or stand. So when I say move, you basically like move a little, like casual. And when I say stop, you stop. Okay?
Okay.
So we try doing that easily? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, move. Stop. Okay. Okay. Let's try now to invert it. Okay? So when I say move, you stop, or when you say stop, you move. Okay? Okay. Move. Okay. Okay. Stop. Stop. Eh, 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 eh. I've seen people who stop. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, sharp guys, sharp guys, sharp. Move.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying.
Okay. Now let's try another one. Let's try another one. Let's do down. Okay. When I say down, you kneel, and when I say up, you lift your hands. Okay. Let me. Okay. Ready? Stop.
Okay. So we have to move. Okay.
Up. Move. Okay. 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 Good. Now let's try to change it. Let's do when I say down, you put your hands up, and when I say up, you put your hands down. Okay? 3, 2, 1, move. Down. Stop. People are dropping.
Yeah, well, I'm getting some glitch. I also see like something in the middle. I don't know what. But I might have to join again as well. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, let's try.
But
Let's try to join again.
Yeah.
Paul, you're muted. Yes. You can unmute. Okay. Paul, have you been in a special before?
Okay.
Paul?
Hello. Is it working for you guys?
So
still
far,
working?
yes. Yes, for me. I don't know if for you. Paul. Paul Bronstein?
Yeah. For me, it's kind of like I have like a square in the middle, and it's glitching. It's like constantly glitching, even though I exited and restarted.
That is
Maybe I
not
have to restart
good.
the quest. I guess. Try that.
Marion, can you see properly or not?
I think she's muted. Oh, this is strange. You know what? I'll restart the quest. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, let's try. Let's try. Paul, can you talk? I cannot hear you. Paul, can you talk, please, or not? Okay, let's see. Who put the mirror here? Rich, to have a good impression
I did. Yeah,
of yourself.
I did.
Can you
Yes, good
update
point,
me,
Marion.
please?
That was a good suggestion. Hi, Sylvia. Yes, I can hear you.
I had some problems and I had to leave. So now I don't know what I have to do.
It's no problem. It's no problem. Other people had to leave as well. Actually, Paul is also here, but he's not answering us. So as you can see, this
Oh,
is typical VR session very often.
yeah.
No, kidding. I mean, usually it takes those 10 minutes to get people back on track, and then
Ah, okay.
it goes kind of smoothly. Now Daniele is rejoining. I don't know if Richard dropped. Paul is still here. Daniele, is it better now?
So now it's better. Yeah, it's working for me again. I just had
Yeah.
to restart the quest.
Okay. So can we, for the meantime, maybe remove the mirror for a second, Rich, please? That would be good so that you don't have it in the middle of. And Paul, I still don't know if you are listening to me or not. Yeah. So I see a hands up, but I cannot hear you speaking. That would be
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
That's good. That is good. But I still cannot hear you. But nevertheless, we can still move forward with the rest. And let's do this. Let's do this. In order to move forward, I don't. What does it say here? I cannot read.
Maybe you should start. You can restart the quest.
Yeah,
or
try to
something.
restart. Try to restart the quest because it works for Daniele.
Yeah.
Okay. So the idea here is the following. So we got this little exercise. So let's finish it up. Okay, let's finish it up. So we said it was hands up, you put them down, and down, you put them up, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So up, up, down, move. Okay. Okay. So let's try the last level. So this time, if I say name, you're gonna say your name. If instead I say cheer, you're gonna say woohoo. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So top, cheer,
Hey,
woohoo,
Woohoo.
down, name,
Daniele.
Gabriele. Okay. Now we switch. We switch also the last one. So when I say your name, you cheer, and when I say cheer, you say your name. Okay. Let's start the last part. Up, cheer, Gabriele.
Rich.
Silvia.
Daniele.
Up, down, cheer,
Silvia.
Rich. Daniele.
name. Woohoo! 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 Okay. So now I hope that you got all kind of like nice and sharp. And let's start with the actual workshop. What do you think?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's good.
Okay.
Okay.
enjoying it. Enjoying it.
So the way this works is that we are going to go into 3 steps. So the first steps is that we are going to kind of like have a broader agreement on what are we going to discuss about. So let's say a more specific question. So what I would like to do with you is to check, for example, get to know first what would be your most valuable use case for a VR collaboration platform like this one. So I suppose that everybody has different background, and so consequently, everybody envision a different application for this. Now, the way I would like you to do this is that you will have 5 minutes, and during this 5 minutes, what you can do is build kind of like a little scene or a little diorama or a post-it or whatever you feel like. So how do you do this? I don't know if everybody here is familiar with spatial, but what I have done here, there are basically, I recorded a little video that we can all see so that we kind of like can see it in first person how to do the things that now I'm going to describe. So in spatial, you can import images, you can import 3D models, you can get post-it notes, and you can do scribbles, right? So those are the 1st things that you can use during those 5 minutes to build your little scene that represent the somehow the use cases that you have in mind for such a platform. After these 5 minutes, we'll go in round and everybody will tell kind of like a little story about actually what's that about, right? And it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It can be just 4 or 5 elements, like a post-it, an image, a 3D model, a scribble, that's it. And then we tell a little story. And then after that, we will decide basically which one of the use cases we will analyze further. Now, it might happen that we might have similar ideas, right? Of some collaboration. In this case, we can build together a little scene of those 2 elements combined to tell basically like an even bigger story. Okay? So the way we start this is first, let's go this, and it's like a 1-minute tutorial to get you started. So as you see, you can click there, and then you can, for example, add notes. Yeah, the notes, you can, of course, type it on a keyboard like this and move it around. With grabbing with 2 hands, you can make it bigger or smaller. Another thing that you can do is then you can basically do a search. And when you do a search, you can click on the little here, there was a little microphone, and that allows you basically to speak what what you're trying to search, right? So then here we go. I said sofa in this case, and that's the moment basically that you get both a 3D model of a sofa in this case and some images. So you can scroll through the images and then you can grab it. In this case, you can also scale it with both hands and grab as well also an image. And the same things works like with Post-it, when you can grab it and scale it. Lastly, you can also do these scribbles, right? And it's pretty simple. You can scribble anything you want. It could be a tree. Now it's a person sitting on this chair. And once you have done it, basically that becomes sort of part of the 3D model. Remember, one thing, remember that you will have to click on the done button after you have used the pen, right? And so that's it. And that's basically the tiny little tutorial to give you an impression of how to do this starting activity. So, does anybody has question about it? Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, finally.
Well done.
Awesome,
Well
awesome.
done.
No, I don't have. This is an amazing platform. Where I'm just really excited to be here. Really cool.
Good, good. Then I think we can get started directly with the first exercise. And my suggestion would be kind of like to spread in different corners of the room, right?
Take
So
this
that we
corner.
can kind of like, yeah.
Oh,
We
sorry.
can, so that not everybody's in the same slot. Okay. So I'm gonna count
I'll take this one.
the timer now. 5 minutes from now. And meanwhile,
Cool.
this is the moment that I'm gonna ask also the people that are in VR to join us and answer these questions. So what would be your most valuable use case for VR and for a platform like this? You have 5 minutes and you can put that in the comments. So please, 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 if you're there, if you're listening, you can add them in a comment, and then I will add those inside the scene so that you can basically also collaborate. We've got 10 people, and I cannot believe that none of the people have a comment, something good or something bad to say. Live chat. Let me see if the live chat is working. Hey. Hey. Well, I'm in there. Does anybody see value in this? How do you guys would like to have and to use this for your own application? Nobody. Well, I'm definitely hurt. That is no, really, really. You know, that's also the advantage of VR, that you can cry and nobody's gonna see it.
Actually, there's already something.
Because do you guys have actually a problem there's also now with video conference? Actually, I'm curious. Maybe later you can tell me how many of you keep the webcam on during meetings. I would be really curious to know. Let me also try to do one thing since we are here. So for the people.
So, does anybody has anything to add in the sense that how are you going to use and how do you think you can actually use this platform for your own work, professional entertainment, that we connect with people? Any use case will be rather interesting, and you can add it, and we can add it in the whole journey. So let me see, please, someone, otherwise, really, I'm gonna be so sad.
I'm gonna.
Well, I think that this app will be phenomenal to plan applications with your teams and to be able to design spatial applications. Given you can see what others are doing in real time, so that's very valuable. I can definitely see how it can help. We're an XR company, so you know we try to think in terms of XR. So this is a great way to initiate that.
Yeah. Guys, we have 1 minute left. Nobody there to add a comment. Unless the live chat is not working. And that is a possibility.
I mean, I had to restart the quest, and it was work. I think if you log in for your phone, it might take the mic permissions and you know it wouldn't
No
allow it
idea.
in the
No
VR.
idea. We'll see. Guys, you have 30 seconds left.
Oh man.
Headset.
15. You got very lucky, Daniele.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here we go. Did you hear the siren?
Yep.
Okay. That's very good. That's very good. So now let's put this question back. Okay. And why don't we start just in clockwise order, right? So now, why don't we all gather here close to Marian, and she's gonna tell us how does she see this platform being used. We are going through each one, just a couple of minutes, and then we will decide how to move this to the next step and write what basically we are going to analyze further. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Marion, you are muted right now.
Can you hear
Here
me?
we go. Yes, now we
Okay,
can.
cool. Um, So I've been into VR for 2 years now, and the main use case that I see for the actual time is about focus and concentrations.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because we are Zoom, and I can feel that I'm not focused enough on person speaking in Zoom, because I'm aware of the outside reality and the noise.
Oops.
And then she fell.
Yes.
We
She has
lost her.
connection problems. Yeah, because the voice
Yeah,
was
yeah.
breaking.
Let's do this. Daniele, you go next, and then we'll take it out.
Cool.
And just as a reminder,
Maybe
it
she's
is really about
back.
She's
Where?
back.
it is oh,
Back,
I'm
so
here
she can
again,
continue.
sorry.
yeah. Please continue then.
So to stream is is a way of focusing more on the person, cannot really see in presence, and working and being more focused on the person that I'm collaborating. That's the main thing.
It was very
Okay.
hard to understand. I don't know. I haven't got
I think it
the
was
whole
more
story.
about isolating yourself, right? That's what you mean. Like you can
No,
concentrate
no,
and
no.
work. Or this. Okay.
Yeah. Focus. More about
Okay.
focus
Mhm.
and being more
Cool.
creative and not being disturbed.
Mhm.
In a platform like this, you mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay. Clear. How are those part of that story that you just said? What does
Well,
distance mean?
distance is distance with other people, colleagues, for
Mm-hmm.
example, that I cannot meet. Well, ADHD is kind of a personal problem, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you're familiar with it. It's
Yes.
trouble
Yep.
trouble focusing, and then my two main companions right now are VR headset and
Okay.
so that's
Okay. That's great. Okay, then let's go to the next one. So,
Okay.
Daniele,
Cool.
what do you want to tell us yours? And I mean, please don't hesitate to introduce those models in that story, right? Because that's part of the of this
Yeah,
exercise.
sure.
So go.
So the idea is actually, my idea has always been to actually build a virtual company. So an app like this would allow you to actually build a building completely, a 3D building if you want to, where your own company is situated. And each one of us works in a different location, but we all work for the same company. So we don't need a office. We don't need any physical place to work together. If we can actually have such a huge building and we can design it as we like, and we can go from room to
Okay.
room, and you can have a recreational room, you can have a development room, you can have a user experience room. And that's why I put this billboard with the company name, VR company, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have different floors with different experiences, where you can actually go with your colleagues with avatars like this. Actually, just to tell you the truth, what we're planning to do with our side company that I'm working on with, is to actually build a full company like this. And there's apps like Engage that allow you actually to build such a
Yeah.
building and
Yeah.
work in it. And you can iterate on user experiences. Like for instance, like I don't know, you're working on a bar thing, or in a restaurant app or whatever. You can just call a restaurant like this,
Okay. Yeah.
in a virtual space, and you can iterate directly with your customers potentially, or even in the team itself. And ideally in the future, I would like also to have like that I have a virtual phone and I can use it to develop iPhone apps or Android apps directly in VR, and
Okay.
use augmented reality directly from here. So that's the kind of idea and goal that I envision for an app like this.
Okay. Okay. That's I wouldn't have thought an application like that, but at the end, if you really think about it, I mean, it could. I
You
see it
can save so
working.
much
I see
money,
it
right?
working. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
So let's move to the next. Rich, what's your vision of collaboration?
So my use case here is around one of the workshops that I historically ran physically in meeting rooms with customers. Since the lockdown situation, I've been running it remotely, being kind of traditional, if you imagine 2D online tools, right? So the next step is to start designing, as I'm doing here, designing digital assistants and the conversation flow that goes around building great digital assistants. And I think this is just a starting point, but I think obviously the great thing about having physical models that you can move about really starts to tend to lean towards such creativity, right? So I think it's the collaboration piece that really excites me specifically. Yeah, so I think there's lots of different ways I could use this in um, a collaboration with my customers.
So and a lot of ways. And if you would say, what would be the most valuable use case for you right now?
I think I think just running a kind of design thinking type workshop where we can probably prototype some kind of solution pretty quickly.
Yeah.
We could probably use some other tools to bring some objects in, and it's quite nice that we can search for tools here as well, search for objects here
Yeah.
as well that we can use. It's great.
Yeah. So design thinking workshop for clients.
Mhm.
In a nutshell, based on your current background and what you're doing, with the ability to get 3D models in
Yes.
and interact and create prototype. That sounds what we are trying to do here. Let's see if it's any good. Okay, Paul, it's up to you now.
Okay, so I didn't have much time to do this, to be honest. But it's basically just a concept of a food restaurant ordering kind of application with mixed reality. And it's my first time trying the platform, so as you can see, didn't have much to show. But the concept would be you get to see the product, you see if you like it in a spatial environment, you order it, and then you go to the restaurant and pick it up. And through like user interface, it shows you where to go exactly. You pick it up and you give them a good rating or a bad rating, and kind of like an Uber and AR, I guess. Which it's not really something we're developing, but it's just a concept I thought would be neat to show.
Okay. Yeah. I think that there is. I mean, seeing your food, I think very often also image do a poor job at it, right? So if you would be able to see
Yes.
actually how the food is going to look like on your table, I mean, I see also that could make sense indeed, right? So
Yeah,
okay, okay.
thank you. Yeah, I agree that food it's really hard to scan or replicate, and it gives that people that demand they want it now. So if you were able to show it and make it look like somewhere like it's there, I feel people would be more eager to go out
Yeah.
than ordering it and waiting. I don't know. It's just an idea. But thank you for your time.
No, it's good. It's good. I mean, thanks for your idea. That's right. That's the purpose of being here.
Absolutely.
Everybody shares his own point of view, and we'll see what we'll come up with.
Definitely.
So now, Sylvia,
Yeah.
I want to go to this neatly arranged table that I would say is the preview of the composition, and because also the color scheme matches, I
Yeah.
really like. So tell us, what's this application about?
So I thought that maybe it would be a good idea to that people who made sculptures or some kind of art and they want to sell it, instead of put it in a website where you can see it into 2D, they can see in 3D in a virtual world, or also they can, I don't know the name about this. That you put an initial price and the other people starts to increase this price. Do you know
Auction.
what I mean?
Like auction.
An auction.
Yeah. So it can be another option. So they show their what they want to sell, and the other people can start to push for
Okay,
the art
interesting.
or
I'm, I'm
whatever.
I'm pretty sure that the people at Spatial have never heard about something like this. No, nobody here came up with it. So I think it's good, and I think it's very good. I think it's very good. I think it makes sense, and in a place like this, you can still kind of like simulate. Also, I think the people that bid on those auction, they're not just there just for the object, but also for the experience of being in the auction, right? And being in on a web
Absolutely.
page, it's never gonna be the same, right? Imagine if there is someone that could raise his hand. It's that physical element of it, and someone raising his hand, and you say, "You bastards!" So I think that's part of the of the thrill. Very good point. Very good point. So we have got, besides the fact that we have lost reach, but
Yeah.
hey, that's secondary. But no, so my point is a little now. Okay, which one of these we would like to pick? And usually I would go for some vote. So basically, you kind of like vote
on any of these options. Now, can we reach a quick agreement without needing a vote? Now, I'll be
Hmm.
outside because I'm not part of this, so I'm just helping. So, can you guys come up with a solution on what we would like to explore further, and then take into the next step to see like what will be the hurdles that stop us to actually doing that right now, right? Or to moving in that direction as fast as possible, right? So that would be the next step. But first,
So
since all these applications are somehow different, I
you
think
want
it's
us to
important to
pick?
pick one.
Okay. So
But we should pick a different
Together.
one
Let's
from what we
discuss.
did, I guess, right? Because otherwise it's obvious.
only
I guess.
get to pick one. You want us
Yes, we
to
have
vote
to pick one.
like you give
Yes,
our
Right.
can you start
choice,
with
or
Well,
it's a
voting?
mutual choice that we
it,
do?
so, so how about this? How about we go and stand next to the idea that we think we want to move forward? Should we try that?
Yep.
That's a
Okay.
very good idea. And let's
That
do at
actually
my
sounds like
three.
a good
All
idea.
right.
One,
Um,
so that we don't cheat. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So mine is.
oh,
Okay,
so I'm a
we have
I'm
a
not
tie.
voting
tiebreaker?
for.
God, all
Oh,
right.
oh yes. Oh, you are the tiebreaker.
Oh
I
wow.
guess
Oh no.
I have
Actually,
ADD.
I want. I actually
Too
want
late.
What?
yours. Actually, I should have gone to yours.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
where?
Okay.
So
So
well,
I'm not supposed to
the
vote
group
for mine.
decided.
Actually.
Well, he voted for his. So I mean,
I voted for mine because I saw you voted for
it's good.
yours.
Okay.
It's good. It's good, guys. I mean,
Should, I vote for mine. Actually, gone for which one? Yeah.
okay. So
Mhm.
let's do now the next step. So the next step would be, why don't we take all those elements that are part of this application to stay focused, and then maybe you can tell us also a little more about it, and we put it on this island.
Oh, oh yeah.
Paul, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi,
Yes.
Louis. Everyone can hear you.
No, I'm on the phone, so I'm just looking at the everything that you guys are doing.
Awesome. Yeah, we're in VR right now,
Great.
just picking a application.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Good. So, do you mind if I close this search here? And also move this a little bit more. No. Okay, okay, I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Not gonna touch it. So now let's get a very quick maybe overview about this. So Mario, can you tell us a little bit how you would see? So the question was, what would be your most valuable use case for a VR collaboration platform like this? What would that be? Based, I mean, we know
Um.
about what you told us, but to let's
Mhm.
phrase it and make it concrete so that we can move forward the most effective way.
So the use case that I know of is um, universities and
Hmm.
especially research teams. Uh, one university in Shanghai, one university in New York. It costs too much money to gather and do research, mutual research together at one point. I mean, in one location physically. So you could imagine this specific space to be a whiteboard to exchange ideas and really
Yeah,
be
and
focused on the person, just like
focus on
we
the
are
person.
right
Can you
now.
elaborate the last part? Ah, okay. So
Yeah, for
with the
sure.
human connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's actually in.
collaborate.
Yes.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's actually interesting because I was at the last workshop, which was in UBS, and
Uh-huh.
this one is more with the avatar. So I would say that the avatar of spatials just give more
Yes, of course.
non-verbal, which is really good. And I do feel a little bit more connected to people than I'm in only floating heads.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let me just write this down. So I will phrase it like this, and I hope Marion, that is fine. What I put here is done. Collaborate with a strong human connection.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah,
I will
definitely.
put it here, and as basically all these objects that are all part of this vision in this island. And the reason why I'm flipping them this way, because we're gonna be in this side now. So the next question is, so what is holding you back from adopting this VR collaboration platform to collaborate with a strong human connection? Now, what we are going to do is that we are all going to answer that question. In 5 minutes, what I would like you to do, guys, is basically write all the reasons that you think are basically preventing that to happen. But why? So imagine, for example, that this is a boat, right? This is a VR boat is full of people on VR headset, and they would like to reach that destination as fast as possible. Now, I will borrow this and then I will put it back, but just to give an example. So let's say that this is a specific reason why um, this boat is being slowed down. So imagine that all the reason that you are going to come up with are some sort of anchors that you put attached to the boat, right?
Okay.
The deeper the anchor is, the stronger the impediment, right? So if you really if you have different reason, you're going to position them higher where it's like, it is a problem, but it's not a big one. And if instead it is down like this, then it's like a big impediment. Okay?
Okay.
Mhm.
Is that clear for everyone?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I will do now is that I will put this thing back. I will get again another 5 minutes count, and then we will do that. Okay. Let me get the 5 minutes counter in, and 5 minutes. Where are you? Here are. Here we go. It should appear at some point somewhere. This we delete it. And here is our minute. Here we go. So the counter is started.
Do we place them now or at the end?
Yes, place them now. Oops. We're getting more than 5 minutes, but it's going to be okay.
Oops. Not what I wanted to do. Ooh. J'ai dit, c'est fractal. What?
We have an alien. An alien just joined.
Do you know him?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He's a Unity developer. I think this is his first time in the platform.
A bit disoriented, no avatar.
Yeah, he'll get it.
Oh, how do I get it?
You're in. If you want, I'll mute myself here and call me once we're on the server, everyone, please. Please and thanks.
Still have 2 minutes.
Can you guys hear me?
Now, yes.
Yes, we can.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you put that gold bar there, that's it's very specific.
I'm gonna put it on the plate.
That's an interesting one.
Yep.
Is the avatar making process quick, or is that going to take a while?
What do you mean?
If I wanted to make an avatar of myself right now, like you guys.
It's 5 minutes. 5 minutes on the website.
Oh, okay, cool.
You just take a picture with the webcam, and it loads a 3D avatar, and then you come back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like the money. I like the money. That's exactly what we're going after. So we have 1 minute left. 1 minute.
Don't know what happened to him.
Sorry, I just have to be specific or whatever. Right.
Oops.
Okay.
20 seconds.
Yeah, Wi-Fi comes up a lot in different forms.
Here we go. Here we go. Game is over. Game is over.
There's a lot.
There is a lot of problems. There are a lot of problems, and I see a lot of money. But what I'm also interested to learn a little bit is also like some of the priority here. So
Yeah.
so specifically in this case, so one of the things that it seems to be appear at the bottom is bad Wi-Fi, right? It appeared twice. Can the people that mentioned that say something about it?
I think there's a lot of.
And for me, I mentioned internet speed, which is I meant exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not just about the Wi-Fi signal, like the router itself, but it's actually the internet speed that sometimes is really bad for some regions. Like I'm lucky, I got a 1 terabit, so I almost never fails. But I have friends in India also with Oculus, and they got like very bad connections, and sometimes it's hard with such big distances to actually like work together or even play together without latency. It's hard. We are still not there where in most part, even in developing countries like India, it's still not there yet. I'd say the internet speed everywhere.
Yes.
The real challenge, isn't it? Even, even in a country like in the UK, for example, to make a technology ubiquitous, I mean, you need great broadband, and we're struggling with that in the countryside. And I'm sure that is for most countries here, which is if you're in the city, yeah, great. But elsewhere, getting a 3G connection is sometimes the best you can hope for. So that does create some limitations.
Yeah. And what is actually, and the problem behind it is basically it's stability then, right? Because
Yeah.
Wi-Fi
I
is one of
mean,
the cause, right? But there might be different reasons that contribute to the instability, correct?
yeah, and this experience just we all have different and sometimes stable, sometimes and it causes disturbance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there was
Right?
another one
I
that
just
came
proved
up
my
that is
point.
sorry, you caught, and exactly that's the problem. Yeah, that's undeniable.
Yeah,
So one thing is it's time. What who put it there?
that would be me.
I put one as well.
And there was also someone else who put both times. So one is Marion, and who else?
I put the picture. I thought of time as well.
Yeah, yeah. What Marion?
Go for
What
it.
do you mean by time? Rich, rich.
From my perspective, it's more about friction of a VR in particular. So if I think about how long it takes to do a particular task, like actually, this is a good example of the exercise of writing a post-it. It's still a difficult thing to do in virtual reality compared to
Mm,
perhaps writing it down. So that element of time
Mm,
for me was about friction, the friction of the technology, which the
mm,
flip side, of course, is the immersiveness, which is which is the cool bit. But then it's can I get my task done as quickly as I could in reality?
I agree, I agree. And I'm not sure that Marion meant the same thing.
you got it right. For me, of technology, there's a new headset coming out every 6 months, and companies do not follow in investment. So it's a problem for me. And so it's really hard to get people used to one tool and other after this. And there's not enough universal uses yet, and it was really fast. So for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
that's a problem.
But so then I have a question, because I mean I'm trying to figure out how then those are connected back to what was on that island, right? This bad Wi-Fi and the timing, some of the one. Okay, what is then also down here? This is technology, yes. So it's also about devices. So what's this audience here?
That was me. It's just you need an audience to know your demographic of who you're gonna sell this to.
Mm,
Hmm. Then there is internet speed, full body tracking. Here
Yeah,
I have. Who
that,
put this one?
that was me.
Yeah.
Because most of the like non-verbal communication actually comes from gestures and subtle movements also on your face, which is something we don't have yet. You know, like even the muscle
Mm,
that like move suddenly on your
yeah.
face. Like I can see now there's some blinking happening, but it's not the real you, right? It's just an
Yeah.
algorithm trying to guess what your how your face is going to look
Yeah.
like when you're talking. So I think once we get like full face tracking and then full body tracking as well, that would immerse us even more, and
Yeah.
it would give you some more human connection that we
Yeah.
were talking about
And this
before.
is exactly
Yeah.
the
mhm.
point. I think this, in this case, full body tracking, and in general, it's not necessarily about having feet, and that's not exactly the point, right? It's more like having expressivity. I think this would connect very strong with that
Yeah.
point there, right? We're trying to
Mhm.
collaborate with a strong human connection. In this case, these some of these indeed are belief problems, clearly.
Mhm.
On the other hand, they are also not necessarily connected with that use case, because then it would have been pretty much similar for others. Am I correct or not?
Yeah, I think they're general points. Yeah. And the general problems of the technology itself right now, you know, infrastructure problem in case of Wi-Fi, and
Yeah, yeah,
also input
Yeah, it's
standardization
about
is
that
not
human
yet there.
connection or whatever.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. And I see
Nice.
also here, for example, comfort. Who put this one?
It's me.
Oh, behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Oh,
also think that yeah, please.
for me, comfort is um, also in pair with the duration of uses.
Yeah.
After this workshop, I'm gonna have a small
Yeah.
because of it, and also if you have glasses, it's problematic. So if you
Yes.
want to repeat uses of a technology, if it's not comfortable on your head, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's also makes interesting, like the way that uh, is it a problem of the technology, or maybe it's just one that we shouldn't use for extended period of time and go maybe in burst. For example, right now maybe we could say, okay, we are here 1 hour. I think that's good. We should
Mm-hmm.
really push it, get people on board very fast, on time, and get to do what we were supposed to do, and then hop out and continue maybe our work in a different way. Because collaboratory strong human connection, uh, can you expect people to be 3 hours, 2 hours even on an headset? I don't know that if it's really feasible. And
No.
that also brings me a bit, Rich, to what you
Mm.
mentioned about the design thinking in a way that
Yeah.
it also has the same issue, isn't it?
Yeah, so for me in running the online workshops, having made them remote, I've already shortened down the sessions from what was like a half a day to a day session to 1 to 2 hour sessions because it drains your energy, right? And actually, if you imagine, I can
Yeah.
imagine in
Uh,
VR, this is probably draining my energy even more. So I can see how I could adapt workshops further to be specific activities that you
Yeah.
drop in and out on, as you say.
Exactly, exactly. So, and I think, for example, that in this case, even with collaborating with people and making human connection, it's about maybe having a phone call, then maybe having a video call, then you have a chat that you are somehow connected, then you hop in VR, then you go back to a virtual whiteboard. So maybe it
Hmm.
shouldn't be this all along, right? Because maybe it's just not feasible. It just will never be, regardless of how comfortable this is gonna get,
Yeah, I guess. And that's,
right?
I mean, if I can add to it, I mean, you can talk. Yeah, it's okay.
No,
Mm.
well, thanks. I was just gonna say it's just I think that's where mixed reality is. It's gonna help out having those, Magic Leap glasses or Hollands. You can take them off real quick and not have to be
Yeah.
fully immersed all the time. But yeah, sorry, Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, just to go back to the idea that I was talking to you about having a completely
Yeah.
virtual company where you don't have an office. The idea is actually that you always work from home or from anywhere in the world. Like you could be in the Philippines on the beach, enjoying your
Yeah.
time, and then you put your headset on and you're in the office. That's the kind of idea, like not 24/7, like or 8 hours a day in a VR environment, but just like you can do your coding work or whatever you need to do on your computer, and then when you need to collaborate, you go into VR and you do a meeting in VR. Of
Yeah.
course, that
Yeah.
wouldn't work if
Exactly.
your job
Exactly.
is just about meeting people all day.
No, you
But
get that. Yeah.
yeah,
I agree. I agree. And that also brings another interesting perspective, right? There are some applications that would be good for some people and not good for others, right? In this case,
yeah,
having a meeting in VR, I think it could really add value, could really make sense. But doing your job and imagine if you're a salesperson, right? And you want to say, oh, you're going to give your sales presentation in VR because you are an architect, you're going to show. But can you really be the whole day in VR, in and out,
no.
one client? I mean, it's pretty
no,
insane. Uh,
no,
but hey, I mean, people do very hard job. Many are insane, so that it doesn't mean necessarily that it's not. It shouldn't be the case, right?
It's true.
So
I mean, I think the next generations are gonna probably get more used to it. But I mean, let's be real. We're like the first generation to have these devices, so it's
yeah,
for us. It's gonna be tougher. I feel
Good
than
point.
just like
Yeah.
I mean, the
indeed,
glasses
indeed.
are coming.
what?
The glasses are coming soon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
the
So
Yeah,
Apple
probably.
hopefully
glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook and yeah, we'll see.
Good.
Okay, guys. So I think that we are basically with off with the 1 hour. So the idea now would be basically the further idea to close this up was to come up with um um a sort of pick one that we felt was most representative and then come up with a statement that turned that problem into how might we question. So it's like you get it, and then you say, okay, how might we, for example, provide a more stable experience, right? In this case of a Wi-Fi, or in the case something like this. Should we quickly try to do it? What do we feel we
Hmm.
should pick? Because now at this point, people would vote. Now there is a lot of stuff here, but I think that Wi-Fi
Mm,
was one that, or maybe there is a. What do you guys want to pick? Do you feel that it could be a problem that needs to be solved and is really hindering our journey to have to collaborate with a strong human connection?
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. I like that too.
Yeah, I like
This
accessibility.
one
That's
is
a good
good.
one.
Yeah.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
accessibility option. So that means in this case, because I think we are not fully covered that.
No,
So
we
I
haven't
made
actually.
Yeah, I made this one actually.
Hmm.
The way I think about this is kind of like a weird development of having more technology that actually can hurt some people that actually were used to something else. Like imagine people with no hands, right?
Mm.
How would they use this app?
Mm,
They couldn't,
yeah.
mm,
right? Of course, if you introduce eye tracking and stuff like that, they could even work with that. But they have different, devices that they now work with computers and stuff like that, and they
Yeah,
have a
yeah, yeah.
workaround that usually works on 2D screens. But in 3D screens, so people in wheelchair, same issue. Like maybe they can still work, because you have teleportation and stuff. But in the future, they might not be able to use legs, even if we have places where we need to
Mhm.
use legs.
So the
Like that.
question
But
is,
the idea
how do
is,
we make this into so now this is a problem, right? It is a problem,
yeah,
and how do we turn it
yeah,
into what is basically like this? How might we question?
solution.
So
Yeah.
how might we, in this case, is fill the blank, and you can
Mhm.
also you don't have to type it. You can just say it aloud.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say,
Okay.
This is a solution. Eye tracking
yeah,
is a
I was going to
solution.
say,
It's not.
Oh,
sorry, I was going to say, maybe use voice to help,
But
Mm.
voice
okay,
interaction to help
wait a sec. Wait a
supplement.
sec. We are
Oh,
now
okay.
going to a solution, right? We're not here
Mhm.
necessarily. So I think that's so. These, as Rich said, these are things that usually take maybe 1 day. We are here in
Hmm.
1 hour, so I think it would be unrealistic to expect us to come up with a solution. But what
Mhm.
we could do is that we have analyzed problem. We have agreed on what that was about. We says, okay, these are a bunch of things that are stopping us from achieving that goal. So this is the problem. Now, how do we formulate
yeah,
this problem in a way that help us think creatively? Because we say VR is not accessible for everyone, it's just stopping us. It's just an obstacle. But if you say, how might we make
and
that um, regardless that because accessibility was about hands, was about your eyes. How might we mm,
we can help people
So,
with
oh,
disabilities to use this product.
mhm.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I think it's closer, but it's I don't know. It's still kind of like very very narrow. It's not opening up opportunities, right? In this case,
Okay.
how might we accessibility option? How may we, um, guys? Let's think.
How do
Let's think.
we
We are all here. Yes.
yeah, how do we open this app to people with disabilities and accessibility problems, like people with no vision, stuff like that?
Yeah.
How to solve the like every kind of this like issue is an accessibility issue, which is driven by usually by disability, any kind of disability. That would be vision or more motion disability or anything like that. So how do we solve? You want to state a question, right? You want to state the problem, or
Yeah, so it's more like
mostly.
how might we, but yeah, yeah, it's good. It's just about phrasing a problem in a way that opens it up to solution instead of having it as an obstacle. In this case, uh, how might we make VR? Uh,
Accessible
More
to people with
accessible.
free
disability.
hardware for schools, like free grants and stuff, free hardware for schools, like how they're giving out laptops. or special ed programs as well. I don't know.
Because that is still a solution, right? So how
Yeah.
might we open
Right.
VR to people with disability?
Yeah, that would be the question, I would say.
Would that make
How
sense?
might we enable people with disability to live a more equal or experience a more equal life, maybe, or experience things that they haven't been able to
Inclusive
do?
maybe
Inclusive,
experience.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
You see, the moment that you come up with something like this, it's not about just getting them to put a headset on and have the same experience, but it's thinking about how to include also disabled in a
Mm.
VR experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Yes. Yes. So in this case, that is basically the problem statement. And in a let's say in a design thinking workshop, you could keep now, okay, this is our problem. So then you start brainstorming, try to find solution, and you see how having this phrased in a different way, it opens a very different perspective of how you're going to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. True.
Right?
Yeah.
So guys, I would like maybe to shortly. I think we are basically on time, and I maybe would like to hear what you guys thought about this this short experimental experience, so to say. Who wanna start?
Uh, yeah, I can start. Yeah, I
Okay,
enjoyed it.
fine.
It was really interesting. Maybe I can give you some pros and cons, like about what I
Mhm.
thought it was
Yeah,
cool.
sure.
Um, I think the fact that we can see our avatars, like it's the first time I meet all of you guys. I've never met you in person. I think it's very interesting and gives you
Mm-hmm.
a different feeling compared to going, I don't know, like you said, on Hubs or any other app.
Hmm.
I think only Engage gets very close to this, but the avatars are not as good, I would say.
Yeah, it's probably the most
But
realistic one,
yeah,
applications wise.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I like the fact that you can just bring in models, just searching, or even with voice, which is already an accessibility option. That they already
Yes.
implemented. And the other apps don't have
Mm.
this, that you can use a voice to actually uh, um, bring stuff in. But then there's and I like the pacing. First of all, great job. I loved it. Like the way you put it together. I think it was
Yeah.
really interesting. And then and that because it's not easy, it's also new for you, I guess, how to what people are going to come up with, what I'm going to put on the table. It's
But
not
you're
easy. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then at the end, the cons is probably I don't like the interface too much. Like it's always in your face,
Hmm. Hmm.
but that's specific to the software. And then also that when you have the type is not as fast. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
you could speak. That's also probably faster. I didn't try that on the notes, but if everyone starts to speak, I don't know how that
You can
works.
mute each other.
We should have
You can mute each
tried
other.
that.
So everybody can mute during those 5 minutes. I could technically mute everyone. Everybody can answer
And
stuff, so
each
there
one
would be no
works on his
problem.
own. Yeah, yeah, okay. That would
Yeah,
be interesting.
that's
Yeah.
interesting actually. Yeah, that's something I wanted to
Yep.
try, but then
So
in the chaos didn't.
in general,
Okay.
I would say for this kind
Yeah.
of things was amazing. Yeah.
Anybody else? Sylvia, you have tried to join for so long. We got in chat via email messages. So how was this whole
Yeah.
experience with this little test?
I no, I really agree with Daniel, and I find it really interesting, and I think it's a really collaborative. But I only find another problem. It's I'm not accustomed to use a headset for a long time, so now I feel
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
so tired and I have a headache. So I
Yeah.
think it's
Oh,
what we
Mhm.
sorry,
uh, when I
but
was talking
I
I
about
mean
think
the
how,
words,
Mario, same thing. Yeah.
yeah. But the workshop in
Well,
general, I
Sylvia,
really
then
like the dynamic and how you do